Shh.
After historic rainfall and flooding here in Knoxville, for many people, once the roads dried, the problems stopped, but for others, the problems and cleanup lasted for days.
Plus, UT honored their efforts in keeping campus beautiful. One category. Find out which one coming up right now on UT Today.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jaleesa Baidu.
And I'm Ariel Starks. Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of UT Today, the University of Tennessee's School of Journalism and Electronic Media weekly news report.
UT has been honored for its efforts to beautify campus by the 2019 Orchid Awards, a Keep Knoxville Beautiful program that celebrates Knoxville and Knox County's most attractive properties.
Awards were given in 7 categories. The Ken and Blair Mossman Building won in the New Architecture category, and UT Gardens received the Mary Lou Honor Beautification Award. We caught up with a staff member for the UT Gardens to see how her time spent with gardens has come full circle, and how much this award means to the university.
I was an intern here as an undergrad, and this is where I learned a huge majority of my horticulture work. And then I graduated and went on and did other things, but then I came back, and it's just nice to see everything that has changed since I started in the beginning and where we are now. And to get this award, I think it just like totally reinforces all of her hard work over the years.
The Orchid Awards have been held annually since 1979. It has been several weeks since the city of Knoxville and most of the state saw record rainfall and devastating flooding.
For many, once the roads dried up, the problem stopped. But for some, the cleanup lasted for weeks. UT Today reporter Chase Biefeld spoke with one woman who is experiencing long-lasting effects of the flooding and joins us now in the studio. Chase?
Yeah, that's right, Ariel. It rained an insane amount that weekend. And for the most part, many people got to go on with their lives by the time Monday rolled around. But for one West Knoxville woman, the problems and the cleanup would actually last for weeks.
Nancy McComish was sitting at home in West Knox County when suddenly she heard a gurgling noise.
Sewage started coming up into the house from any of the drains that I had in my house.
Within 2 minutes, Nancy and her husband were ankles deep in sewage. A West Knox utility pump failed in their backyard. It was the weekend East Tennessee experienced record amounts of rainfall.
I lived in this house for 40 years and never had anything like this happen.
On top of the sewage inside, the rising water outside also began to come in her house.
It came up too.
Nancy's neighbors rushed over to help save her belongings.
It was just grabbed by my neighbors and so forth and just lugged up. And any place they could find to put it, they put it.
Most of what the McComishes had was destroyed. But it's not the furniture she's worried about.
Memories are gone, photos are gone, just everything.
Nancy and her husband don't have flood insurance, so their things weren't covered. Their insurance is, however, paying for their hotel, but that stay is coming to an end.
We could stay for 3 days here, and I don't know.
Nancy and her husband are both retired. They have $100,000 in damage, and their only source of income is Social Security. But while Nancy's belongings might have drowned, there's still one thing keeping her afloat.
I got my family, and that's the silver lining.
Nancy was just so optimistic, her and her husband. Their situation was just catastrophic. Jaleesa, Ariel, back to you.
Graduates from the College of Nursing here at UT had one of the highest first-time pass rates in the 2018 National Council licensure exam.
The pass rate is higher than both the national average of 88.3% and the University of Tennessee average of 92.1%.
We spoke to the Dean of the College of Nursing to find out what nursing students here at UT are doing right.
They have that pressure while they're in school so that they're ready for that pressure when they take the NCLEX exam. We also have changed our curriculum a bit too to make sure that we are in line with best practices in nursing education.
UT's College of Nursing offers several other programs, including an accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing, graduate degrees, and advanced practice certifications.
Several UT students made their way up to Chattanooga recently for CARS.
Riverside Spring Meet is an automotive event held every spring in downtown Chattanooga. It is a place where car enthusiasts can come together and enjoy the best vehicles from all over the Southeast.
UT Today reporter Marina Tricones was there and caught up with some of the students.
With the Riverside Car Meet taking place earlier this month, Knoxville car enthusiasts had the chance to travel to Chattanooga to meet with fellow car fans.
Come for the cars, stay for the people. That's the motto here at the Riverside Car Meet, an annual event that's held here in Chattanooga. There's so many local car enthusiasts from all over the Southeast here, including several people from Knoxville that drove in for the event.
Out of the Riverside attendees from Knoxville, some were students at the University of Tennessee. One of these students is junior Ben Vickery. This was his second time at Riverside, and he says he's glad to see how the meet has grown.
A couple of years ago, it was fresh starting out, so there weren't as many people as there are today. It definitely looks like it's grown a lot since the last time I was here, and it has a great turnout today.
Riverside is not a competition, but instead a social event for car enthusiasts to show off their cars, talk with other visitors, and check out the vendors at the meet.
This whole event's about kicking back and hanging with friends and making new friends and discussing their cars and just chilling and have a good time with them.
Vickery says he will be back next year and recommends Riverside to anyone, regardless of their knowledge of cars.
Great atmosphere for car lovers, and honestly for non-car lovers as well. It's a great way to get you into cars.
For more information on Riverside and their coverage of past year's events, visit their website at riversidechattanooga.com. Reporting for UT Today, I'm Marina Tricones.
Thank you so much, Marina. The date for Riverside 2020 has not yet been released, but keep an eye on their website for updates on the next year's event. Still to come on UT Today, the biggest expansion Dollywood has ever seen is set to open in just a few months. We take a look at what to expect from the park coming up.
Plus, a family-run business here in East Tennessee that sells gowns for every occasion in a woman's life. We talk to store owner and see what they offer. Stick with us. You're watching UT Today.
Welcome back to UT Today. Kelly England runs a free roll poker league right here in Knoxville.
England travels to different bars and restaurants and runs tournaments that are fun and free to the public. UT Today reporter Sierra Morgan caught up with England and his fiance to find out more about the event.
For some, poker is just a pastime, but for Kelly England, it's much more. Not only is it his favorite hobby, but it's how he makes a living. Kelly has been running K-Town Poker League for almost 2 years, organizing free roll poker games all around Knoxville with prizes ranging from cash, gift cards, and even chances to play in World Series of Poker events. Poker isn't for everyone, but it didn't take long for Kelly to realize that for him, it was something special.
Oddly enough, I used to shoot pool a lot, and at a local billiard hall, they had a free roll game, kind of like what I do now. And I saw it, and I'm like, well, I kind of want to play. So I was able to play, fell in love with it, loved the game, and I realized pretty quickly I want to make a living at this. This is what I want to do for good.
And it's working out.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
People from all around Knoxville gather multiple times a week to grab a drink, order some food, and play cards. One of the best parts, Kelly's fiance Brenda loves the game just as much as he does, and this business they've grown to love practically fell in their lap.
What happened is we attended free roll poker games all around town, and there was one guy who he backed up while the guy was on vacation, and the guy, when he came back, the guy said, "Hey, you know, I'm moving, and if you'd like this game, you can have it." So it kind of fell on our lap that way. And then from that point, he took it over, and I really wasn't involved because I didn't really know how to run one, and I was okay with just letting him run it, and I just come in and I played the game and had fun. And then as we went along, we realized, well, there's potential here, and there's not that many tables, so could we grow this?
While some may consider him a poker pro, Kelly says it takes years to master the game. Dealing is arguably one of the hardest parts of poker, and I got to sit down and learn some of the basics. Each shuffle starts with a riffle, which to do properly is a lot harder than it looks. It's then followed by a quad cut, another riffle, a box cut, and then you're ready to deal. For UT Today, I'm Sierra Morgan reporting.
Thank you so much, Sierra. What a great guy and a great event.
Definitely a great story. Thank you again, Sierra.
The Walmart located at University Commons will be closing its doors for good soon, but that's not keeping UT students away.
Many prices at the store have been slashed in preparation for its closing. We caught up with students about their buying as the prices continue to fall.
I was coming to Walmart just to get some health and beauty items.
That's usually where I went for my groceries, to be honest with you.
But I had no idea that they had new store hours closing at 7 p.m. So that was quite a shock.
I had dinner, and then I came hoping to get a present for my brother and sister for their birthday.
And with the alcohol going on sale last week and this week it's 25% off all items. So I figured it might be picked over, but there might be something that I like that no one else likes.
With tax season underway, now is a good time to think about investments.
UT Today reporter Ansley Daniel tells us about a new way to invest through cryptocurrency.
Technology. It's changed the way we live our lives, from scheduling to shopping and even how we invest.
I got into crypto right before the boat did, so I had some really nice gains.
So, what is cryptocurrency? It's assets in the digital world that can crisscross to companies and countries without the delay of traditional bank transfers. An example of this is Bitcoin. This particular cryptocurrency's value is on the rise, which is appealing to young investors like Isaiah Webb.
I have fun because the technology itself is off the blockchain, and cryptocurrency may or may not survive, but blockchain technology is here to stay.
But now, what is blockchain technology? It's a digitized, decentralized public ledger of all these cryptocurrency transactions.
In a lot of ways, it's the wild, wild west, and I think security markets, as in publicly traded common stocks, are just very, very different. Highly regulated, very transparent. Bitcoin is very opaque.
This uncertainty and high risk could bring high rewards.
Cryptocurrency is very volatile, but overall it's had a general uptrend. That is not saying that it will happen forever, but you have the gains going up and down constantly.
Experts and investors alike say if you want to get into the cryptocurrency world, you should understand its logistics.
Very few, if anybody, understands really what Bitcoin is, but if you are going to put your hard-earned money in it, I think it's important that you understand what it is.
Do your own research and make sure that you know what you're getting into and know cryptocurrency like the back of your hand before you're going to spend money on it.
For UT Today, Ansley Daniel.
Thank you, Ansley. Andy Puckett says it's important to note that you should always do your research when looking to invest in something new.
Wildwood Grove, Dollywood's newest and biggest expansion, is starting to come together, just in time for its May opening. The 5-acre expansion is the park's biggest addition since it expanded to create the Wild Eagle Ride and the Fire Chaser Express. The pictures you're seeing now are from August 3rd of last year, when Dolly Parton first announced the expansion. Wildwood Grove will include several new rides and attractions for all ages. It will be located next to Dolly's Timber Canyon. And our team from UT Today will actually be at Dollywood for a preview of the new expansion.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that. I cannot wait to see what it looks like. Every girl dreams of that special day, whether it's her prom day or her wedding day. One dress shop here in East Tennessee is granting those wishes.
I caught up with the owner of Gilded Gown to find out more about how she's making fairy tales come true with the perfect dress for every size.
I love all things diva fashion.
For over a decade, owner of the Gilded Gown, Jackie Wadsworth, has provided women with their dream dresses.
You can't translate a dream if you don't have enough gowns in the store for that girl to have that experience.
From prom to parties and even the I-dos, the Gilded Gown may have the right dress for that special occasion.
We've got about 1,200 wedding gowns, 1,200 prom gowns, every accessory that you can imagine. Queen's bling in the house. So we help you put everything together from top of your head down to your toes.
For her, it's about giving each woman the chance to fall in love with the dress and then themselves in it, which starts with the right size.
We go 000 to 36 in prom because we absolutely believe beauty is not limited by size, and neither is our selection. So you're going to find just as many size 2 gowns as you find 22 and 24 in our store because, again, to find that perfect dress, you have to have plenty to try on.
And in the midst of over 1,000 dresses, bride-to-be And now employee Courtney Edwards found her perfect dress.
I didn't even see myself in the mirror yet. I just looked down and saw my dress, and I had this rush of emotion, I knew that this was it.
A feeling she looks forward to with all of her customers.
Really, with prom and bridal, once they do say yes to the dress and you see them click with their dress, it's really, really cool to see them get interested in all the accessories that we have and just everything that we have here to offer.
Many dress wishes have come true at the Gilded Gown, and like Cinderella, there's a fairy godmother to thank.
If you listen to your bride or your client, you can help her make that dream come true. And it's almost like being a fairy godmother or the dress whisperer. I used to like to call myself the dress whisperer.
Making it possible to find the perfect gown. With UT Today, I'm Julissa Baidu.
You can find out more about the Gilded Gown on their website, thegildedgown.com, as well as their Facebook page.
Still to come on UT Today, sports anchor Sierra Morgan dives into what it's like covering Tennessee basketball during their best season in program history. Stay with us, everyone. You're watching UT Today.
Welcome back to UT Today. I'm Sierra Morgan. The Vols finished their regular season with a 27-4 record, 15-3 in the SEC, which is Tennessee basketball's second best since the 2008 team, which was 28-3 overall. While Knoxville surely has been buzzing the past few months, the Vols weren't the only ones on a grind this season. I sat down with Knoxville News-Sentinel beat writer Mike Wilson to see what it's like covering a high-profile basketball team during one of their best seasons in over 10 years. Let's take a look. In the midst of a historic season, Tennessee fans weren't the only ones in Knoxville who had to adjust to this top-tier team. Sports media, specifically local sports media, have really had to up their game this season. In a world of press conferences, media availabilities, and games, covering a team that was ranked #1 for 4 weeks has added a new sense of urgency to the job. Knoxville News-Sentinel beat writer Mike Wilson is one of the local journalists that cover Tennessee basketball, and being a journalist in the SEC is not an easy task.
My job is a lot of repetition. I mean, it's very repetitive, but in a good way.
While Mike has experience covering great programs like South Carolina and Michigan State, covering the Vols has changed tremendously in the short year and a half he's been in Knoxville.
A lot of travel, especially through the conference portion of the season. That's been a new thing this year. When I took this job about a year and a half ago with the News-Sentinel, the thing that I was told about basketball travel was you'll go to Kentucky and Vanderbilt. Well, last year, as the Vols started taking off, it turned into, all right, well, we're going to travel to as many games as possible now.
A program like Tennessee gets attention from news outlets all across the nation. This attention, Mike says, adds pressure to local media.
I think what has changed is the attention on this team puts pressure on you to come up with unique ideas, come up with story ideas that no one else has told, come up with player information that no one else has. And that's where I think when a team is as high profile as Tennessee is right now, the journalist job changes. Is all right, well, so I wrote One Fly, We All Fly. I did like a breakdown of how did that start, what's the attention been like, and stories like that. I did one on Jordan Bone earlier this year because I just thought his game was taking off in early January. And so I sat down and watched film with him to say, all right, well, here's how Jordan Bone sees the game right now. And so those are story ideas that you kind of have to come up with to separate when there's so much media attention. There's more national media around. That's going to happen when a team's #1 in the country. That just goes with it. You'll see ESPN, you'll see Sports Illustrated, you'll see those things. So that kind of puts it on you to say, well, I'm the local person here, so I got to do better work than that because it's my job to know everything day in and day out here.
Covering a team like Tennessee can be fun and has its perks. Being a local writer means getting opportunities to see the team and players in a way that no one else does. And Mike has nothing but good things to say about this year's roster.
One thing I admire about this team is they have a healthy respect for the media. There's not a disrespect, there's not a, oh, I have to talk to those people. It's easier when a team's winning to have that, mind you, but I think the character of this team is one that they respect what we do and also don't mind us as people for the most part, which isn't always the case.
For sports, we'll be back right after this short break. Stay with us, everyone. You're watching UT Today.
It's that time of year again. Girl Scout cookies are officially for sale.
I caught up with one Girl Scout troop to see what it's like to sell America's favorite cookies.
Would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies?
The question that's like music to a cookie lover's ear. Girl Scout Gretchen Komashak of Troop 21081 is bringing joy to people in Knoxville as they go about their daily errands.
We're making people's day and we're making them happy by selling them Girl Scout cookies.
For just $20, you can get 5 boxes of cookies. If you're not in the mood for sweets, you can choose to donate your cookies or money to the troop. Gretchen says her favorite Girl Scout cookie is the tag-along.
I don't know, it just reminds me of Reese's Cups, and that's one of my favorite candies.
These cookies come in many different flavors, including customer favorites, Thin Mints, and Samoas. When people spot their favorite box, they can't resist. But these cookies aren't always leaving by the box load.
Like what day it is, sometimes we sell a lot, sometimes we don't sell as much.
But sales don't determine whether these girls have fun.
Cookie sales, buy them here. They're looking good for every meal. Girl Scout cookies are good, Girl Scout cookies are right.
Gretchen says even though she loves selling cookies, there's much more to being a Girl Scout.
We kind of talk about and do projects, and then we get badges for the projects.
Customers say cookies are great, but it's the girls' positive attitudes and welcoming smiles that keeps them coming back, rain or shine.
I definitely love Girl Scout cookies. Well, that's going to do it for us today here on UT Today.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll leave you today with some sounds of students hiking and enjoying the warmer weather.